G'day and welcome to the world famous Barossa Valley, 70 kilometres roughly north of the South Australian capital. What a stunning day it is for a bit of a grape graze. Now, if you're planning a visit to Adelaide, we have 10 amazing things for you to do in this video, including a day trip here to the Barossa. More on that a little later. We've got a lot of ground to cover, so let's get into it. In this video, we'll pound the pavement on a guided walking tour, get arty on North Terrace, conquer the heady heights of Adelaide Oval, head for the hills to Hahndorf, and much more. But before we put the pedal to the metal, take a moment to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more amazing travel ideas. A walking tour is a great way to orientate yourself on a first visit to Adelaide, and I know just the lady to speak to on that score.
My name is Katina. I'm the owner and director of Flamboyance Tours, and we operate walking tours across Adelaide city centre. Adelaide is a really walkable city. I think it would be one of the most walkable cities in Australia, if not anywhere. And to be able to see everything in such close proximity is super easy, super convenient, and it's just really fun. You see a lot of things on walking tours that you wouldn't be able to see by going on a coach or doing it another way. The Welcome to Adelaide tour is what I call the quintessential tour of Adelaide. It shows all of the essentials, everything from our major shopping strip Rundle Mall through to Town Hall, Parliament House, finishing up at the Central Market where you can then further explore one of Adelaide's, food meccas.
Thanks, Katina, and we'll circle back to the Adelaide Central Market a little later. Now, there's no doubt that the South Australian capital is a fabulously historic and artistic place, and most of the preeminent cultural institutions can be found on North Terrace. Now, the State Library of South Australia is home to the famous Mortlock building. I've heard a lot about it, but I've never actually seen it. Let's go and take a little wander back in time.
My name's Mark Gilbert. I'm a librarian at the State Library of South Australia. The Mortlock building opened in 1884. At the time it was known as the Jervois wing of the State Library, named after Governor Jervois, who had laid the foundation stone. And at that time it housed the library, the South Australian Museum and the Art Gallery of South Australia, all in the building. It has been described as one of the world's most beautiful library buildings, a French Renaissance style building with ground floor and 2 upper galleries. And within the building itself, there's displays from the library's collections. I still get a thrill when I go into the Mortlock building. Sometimes I give tours to members of the public, and I talk about the building, I talk about the library's collections, but I still get a sense of pleasure when I see the look on people's faces who've never seen the place before.
General entry to the library is free, as it is to the neighbouring South Australian Museum and prestigious Art Gallery of South Australia. Parts of the stunning gallery complex date back to 1900. Thanks to our good friends at TFE Hotels, we're staying at the upscale Adina apartment hotel Adelaide Treasury, which occupies the former historic State Treasury buildings on Victoria Square. The central courtyard has a wonderfully European feel and offers a tranquil retreat from the hustle and bustle of the surrounding city. The apartment-style rooms are packed with period detail, alongside all the mod cons the modern traveller expects. Close to the library lies another of Adelaide's best free attractions, the 52-hectare Botanic Garden, one of the oldest civic gardens in the country. It's well worth a wander at your own pace, but guests also have the option to explore the grounds with an Indigenous guide. Kanifa from Southern Cultural Immersion gets things underway with a welcome to country before setting off at a relaxed pace. Along the way, we learn the traditional uses of various plants in Aboriginal culture, but it's also a rare opportunity just to walk and talk. And all in all, this is 60 minutes well spent. Time for a change of pace and a leisurely cruise on the River Torrens. The Popeye has been delighting passengers of all ages for decades, and the 45-minute sightseeing cruise is great value. There's no spinach on offer, but you can upgrade your cruise at the time of booking to include a Devonshire tea. The cruise passes one of the city's most iconic sites, Adelaide Oval. So take this opportunity to wander over and take a closer look at this historic and much loved sporting venue. If you're game, Roof Climb Adelaide Oval has a fetching set of overalls in your size. The Adelaide Central Market is the doyen of the city's dining scene, and it's been a much-loved part of the culinary landscape here in the South Australian capital for decades. Now, even if you're not in the market for a stick of celery or a bunch of grapes on holiday, a guided tour is a delicious way to explore. To really get under the skin of this local institution, we're joining Food Tours Australia on their Market Discovery Tour. Over the course of 1.5 hours, we look, touch, smell and taste our way from stall to stall. The market is home to several street food outlets, and some hot samples come our way. And what better way to end a market tour than with a colourful sweet treat? The Barossa Valley needs little introduction as a wine region and is home to around 80 cellar doors. It makes a great day trip from Adelaide, but we're leaving the driving and decisions on which wineries to visit to the experts at Taste the Barossa, which operates a popular daily wine tour from the city. Tour guide JR tells us more about the valley and the cellar doors we'll visit.
G'day, my name's JR. I'm a tour guide for Taste the Barossa. We do tours up to the Barossa Valley, McLaren Vale and the Adelaide Hills. Well, the valley's around 25 kilometres long from north to south. It's Australia's most well-known wine region. It's a premier red wine region, although we do grow a few white varieties here as well. And it has some of the oldest vineyards in Australia and also some of the oldest vineyards in the world. So first up we have Chateau Yoldara, which is the southern end of the Barossa Valley. It's probably been around since the 1940s. Beautiful old property, gorgeous old building. We do a little flight there of about 5 to 6 wines. Then on to Peter Lehmann wines. We do a tasting at Peter Lehmann's. Some beautiful wines there, including the sparkling Shiraz. And we do a lovely platter tasting there as well afterwards, like a ploughman's platter. We call it the Weybridge platter. We then travel to Lambert Estate, which is where we are right now. Lambert Estate is a small boutique style winery. It's owned by a lovely couple, Jim and Pam Lambert, originally from the States. We finish off right up into the northern sector of the Barossa to Wolf Blass, one of the biggest producers in the region, and we will do a tasting there. And they'll tend to bring out a lot of the varietals that we don't see in the bottle shops.
We wrap up this video with a day visit to the sublime Adelaide Hills, located to the east of the city. Make your first stop the Mount Lofty Summit Lookout and Cafe, which offers a sweeping view of the plains, coast and city below. Flinders Column marks the naming of Mount Lofty by English navigator Matthew Flinders in 1802. The late 1830s saw German Lutherans settle in the Adelaide Hills. Escaping persecution in Prussia, they established the village of Hahndorf, today one of South Australia's tourist hotspots. But despite all the attention, it retains an authentic feel, and that early German influence is still very visible. There are plenty of ways to pass the time in Hahndorf, but for my money, toasting those early Prussian immigrants with a frothy stein is at the top of the to-do list. For more ideas for amazing things to do in Adelaide, just visit our website.